I see. Well, I mean, I don't think that's particularly good news for us, but obviously, if that takes our total tariffs to 50%, then that's going to make our goods unaffordable to a lot of people in America. And in particularly when you're looking at these percentages, you have to compare them with the tariffs being levied on some of our competitors. And I'm afraid if you look at people like Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, even Bangladesh and Pakistan have lower tariffs than us, then ultimately people will not be buying goods from us in America if they can buy them cheaper elsewhere. So that's not very good for our exports to America. This means we need to very seriously diversify to other countries and other markets which may be interested in what we have to offer. We now have an FTA with the UK, we are talking to the EU. There are many countries in which hopefully we would be able to, but in the short term it is definitely a blow. I don't think we can sugarcoat it.
When President Trump was asked about the imports of America when we look at the Russia's export to USSR, he said, I don't know about what America imports from Russia, either it's uranium or petroleum products.
Uranium, palladium, there are various things they're importing from Russia. But there is unfortunately a certain double standard involved. They have given the Chinese a 90-day break, but the Chinese are importing far more Russian oil than we are. So clearly this has not been a particularly friendly gesture from a country we thought was well disposed towards us, our administration that we thought was well disposed. Very clearly we have to act accordingly and we will have to learn our lessons from this experience. I think there is certainly a likelihood there will be some pressure within India now to impose comparable reciprocal tariffs on American exports to India. So I think we're going to have to really start looking at other trading partners much more in these circumstances.
From past a decade, we have seen the entitlement of India to the United States. So can you see...
Our panelists join us here to decode what's been transpiring. Ajay Dua, former Commerce Secretary, is also joining us. Saket Mishra and PK Basu are continuing with us as well. Ajay Dua, I want to ask you this. Why is it that Donald Trump thinks he can bulldoze India the way he's doing it? I mean, what explains this 50% tariff that's been levied on India?
I think it is his concern or his conviction that India wants to badly enter into a bilateral trade agreement with the US, and that thinking that the additional tariffs India would accept in the expectation that when the BTA is signed, whether it's this month or a month or two later, all these would be removed and India would have given without really compromising on one or two concessions on agriculture, which he might then make, that India would accept the situation. I think his reading is that India wants the US in
I believe we've encountered some audio issue there with you, Ajay Dua. We'll try and reconnect that and get a better line with you. But PK Basu, I want to ask you this. The art of making a deal was something that Donald Trump was often spoken of. From the deal maker to a tantrum thrower, is that what he's become?
Yes, I think this is what he considers the art of the deal. Throw tantrums, shout from the rooftops, and there's something called TACO. Trump always
chickens out.
Right? So, these are threats. But I think the important thing to understand is that what he is saying in today's tweet and today's executive order is that India will face these tariffs 21 days from today. That is from noon Eastern US time on the 27th of August. A US delegation is coming to India on the 25th of August. So this is not the end of the matter. It's not as if he has imposed this with effect from today. He has imposed this with at least a 21-day warning. Plus, there are certain provisions that only come into effect almost a month later, around 17th or 27th of September. So it is not immediate. I think your coverage should emphasize this point that it's not immediate. It is still a negotiating ploy. It is very much what Trump considers to be the art of the deal, where he threatens and shouts from the rooftop. I don't think his methods are working that well with India. But I think it's also important to understand that our negotiators thought we were very close to a deal. Trump himself was tweeting until 3 or 4 weeks ago that that we're about to have a deal with India, we're very close, etc.
Correct.
But something has, some bee in his bonnet has gone off, and that seems to be Russian oil. Today, his envoy to Russia, Steve Witkoff, met Putin, and presumably that meeting didn't go very well, or at least didn't go as well as Trump expected, and so he is going bonkers with this. Now, the simple fact is, I think Putin realizes, and we should realize, that Trump cannot afford oil prices to zoom up. If there is a complete ban on imports of Russian oil, that will be disastrous for oil prices. Oil prices will go up sharply.
Absolutely.
And that will destroy Trump's agenda. So he cannot afford to push oil prices up. I think Putin recognizes this. We should recognize it as well.
And that was one of the reasons why the United States wanted us to buy Russian oil in the first place.
Our other exports.
US nudged us to buy Russian oil just last year or a year before that because they didn't want the prices to go up. We'll try and reconnect that line with PK Basu, but Ajay Dua, I believe you're back, and I saw your hand going up. But I'll just come to you in a moment. Saket Mishra, I ask you to wait with us as well. Zaka Jacob, managing editor, joining us, getting us more perspective on this. Zaka, how do you read this? The highest in Asia, only on par with Brazil around the world. What exactly is on Trump's mind?
Look, I think one thing that